I know nothing of the sea. I was raised in the geographical center of North America, as far away from the oceans of this world as it is possible to get in this country. I may have visited and enjoyed beaches around the world, made some ferry crossings, but really, I know nothing of the sea. The hymn Jesus Savior Pilot Me was first published in 1871. It was written by the pastor of a church in the center of Chinatown in New York City. Named the Church of Sea and Land, this ministry served the dock workers and longshoremen in the area. Clearly, Pastor Edward Hopper knew the context of his ministry there. This hymn talks about the very real fears and terrors of being on a stormy sea. But he always brings the conversation back to Jesus, asking him to be the pilot through the treacherous waters. It's all a metaphor, and within the metaphor, all things come under the scope and power of Christ. As I said before, I know very little about the sea. The images in Jesus Savior Pilot Me are slightly foreign to me, though they are wholly understandable. The hymn talks about chart and compass and treacherous shoals. I don't have any experience with these things. Yet I do know about fear of the unknown, feeling lost, and wanting and waiting to hear Jesus' voice of guidance in troubling times. And these are the things that this hymn is really about. Those same skills of empathy are also required of us when we encounter other people whose background or situation is different than our own. When I wonder how Jesus managed to live his life with integrity in dealing with others so that I might try to be more like him, I always come back to a story from the Gospel of Matthew. When Jesus had come down from the mountain, great crowds followed him, and there was a leper who came to him and knelt before him, saying, "Lord, if you choose, you can make me clean." Jesus stretched out his hand and touched him, saying, "I do choose. Be made clean." Immediately his leprosy was cleansed. Jesus always chooses to lift up those who suffer. Jesus always chooses to be an instrument of healing. Jesus always chooses love and compassion. The short book of 1 John is mostly about love. Our love of others is to be modeled after Jesus' love for others and for us. The writer of 1 John says in chapter 3, "We know love by this, that he laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for one another. How does God's love abide in anyone who has the world's goods and sees a brother or sister in need and yet refuses to help?" When we look to find common experience in something that we may think doesn't relate to us at all, we find it in shared humanity. This is the stormy sea that faces us today. Jesus, Savior, pilot me.
boisterous waves obey thy will. When thou sayest to them, be still, wondrous sovereign of the sea, Jesus, Savior, pilot me. When at last I near the shore, and the fearful breakers roar twixt me and the peaceful rest, then while leaning on thy breast, may I hear you say to me, fear not, I will pilot thee. May I hear you say to me, fear not,